So I am a high school coach and, most importantly, professional communications teacher. So I got a bunch of new students this semester last week, and I'm like, hey guys, you're gonna have to talk for a minute. And they're like, not doing it. They just looked at me like, no chance. And I was like, well guys, I gotta speak at a minimum of 2 minutes, but not past 3 per Tammy's text, about somebody very special to me. When I came to Wichita State, my wife and kids who are here with me, Casey was already here. Great job, Coach Stevenson and company, Coach Kimnitz, JT, on getting the first Gillaspie here, who could also hit. And I'm fortunate to see him and have had the opportunity to develop a relationship with him and his family. But Casey could really hit. And I knew that. I'd seen him. And so I think the smartest thing that I did and that I've done in my entire coaching career was when I got here, I didn't do anything other than say, hey, big fella. Because I just didn't know, I didn't know what I was going to do because he was good. And he had a chance to be a first rounder. And so as the fall started, he finally came in one day and he knocks on my door. I'm like, what's up, big man? He's like, we need to talk. You got it. I don't know what you know about hitting. Fair. I don't know what you know about hitting, Casey. Well, I don't trust you. Well, I don't trust you either. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm like, what's next? And so finally I go, you want to just go hit? And that's when it all began. Fortunate for me, my wife and kids stayed in Fayetteville because we were up there every night. And the beautiful thing about a switch hitter is the ball always breaks into you, right? Always breaks into you. The problem is that means you're going to get to work on both sides every night. And so as soon as we got the left-handed side feeling good, the right-handed side needed some work. And we didn't like that, and we go back to the left side because we want to feel it, right? And so in this write-up, which is so true of Casey and the entire Gillaspie family, stay busy and work hard. That's what Casey did. And that's why he was so successful. That's why he had one of the best seasons that he's ever had. It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with him. And when we started talking on Thursdays, which we need to get back to, the holidays got us, we were going through Romans. And Romans 12:2 talks about a transformation. And so I think back of our relationship from 2013 to now, and listening to the words impact already said tonight, the impact that he had in this program, in his 3 years, the impact that he had on me as a young coach, the constant question of, well, why? Why are we doing that? No, I don't like that. Okay. He made me a better coach, and through our conversations of 2-3 hours of hitting, we became very close. And we talked about life, we talked about being a husband, we talked about being a dad, we talked about being a coach, talked about hitting, and then we talked about hitting some more. When he asked me to be in his wedding, it was a for sure yes. My wife, Mackenzie, was pregnant with our 4th kid. We have a lot. We're going to have a bunch of grandkids too, but not anytime soon. The oldest are 13, so we got about 13 years, okay? But it was funny because we're at the rehearsal dinner, and he goes, you know why you're here? Let me guess. You don't trust me. No. I said, I think so, but you go ahead and tell me, Case. He goes, not because you could coach. I said, copy that. He goes, because I care about you. And to me, that's a special relationship. When you coach somebody and the impact that you have beyond just the arena, the field, wherever you're at, the impact on them as a human, watching him get married to Carrie, watching him become a father here soon, hopefully, Lord willing, and watching them grow their life in Kansas City, and this absolutely an award that he deserves. I know he's made the Gillaspie family name proud. I know he's made his dad Mark proud. Connor proud because they both could hit, and he's made Wichita State proud. So without further ado, Casey Gillaspie.
Definitely should have brought a piece of paper or something. The first time that I ever really heard about Brian, I was just coming back from summer ball, and I knew we had gotten some new coaches, and there was kind of a YouTube video going around of him, and it was him and his playing days there at Arkansas. And if you're a Marvel fan, you like the movies, and you can imagine the Hulk, put a baseball uniform on him, and then have him argue with an umpire, and that was pretty much my first impression of Brian. And then, he got the story wrong, but I think the first time I ever said anything to him, I said, "Hey, coach," and he goes, "Hey, player." And in baseball, it's kind of weird, right? So, like, you don't call your coaches coach, you call them by their first name, which I still don't understand to this day. And ever since then, I put him in my phone as Coach Walker, just because I'm a ornery and wanted to get the last laugh, right? But in all seriousness, without Brian, I mean, I don't know what my last year in college would have been like. Being an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, moving away from Omaha, you kind of depend on people like him to help you through those days. Yes, I worked hard and I had a good upbringing, but to have a role model like that was truly special to me and something I'll never forget, and I appreciate you very much. All right, thank yous. I want to thank Rick Muma for putting this on, Pizza Hut, Athletic Director Kevin Saul, and then I'm also going to start thanking a lot of people here, so bear with me. I want to first thank my wife for challenging me, for being with me through every step of the way, and most importantly, putting up with me. I want to thank my parents. Little fun fact here at Wichita State, if anybody doesn't know, baseball players sometimes get a little bad reputation. I don't know where they get it from, but I can kind of see it. So for me, coming in as a freshman, I wanted to kind of change that mold. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted teachers not to dislike me just because I was a baseball player. And so I think that goes back to how my parents raised me. They told me life is more important than just baseball. And you can only play baseball for so long. And so that kind of stuck with me, and can't even count how many times I got batting practice from my dad, how many times I got dropped off by my mom at practice. It was because of them that I was able to have such a good career at Wichita State and beyond. So thank you. I'd also like to give a special shout out to my siblings, my brother and my sister, which they're probably with their kids somewhere. I always said, I couldn't wait to get out of Omaha, Nebraska, where I grew up, because I'm ready to be away from my family, right? I don't need them. Sure enough, I go to a school where my brother went to. I lived there, obviously, for those 3 years, and then after that, near my brother. And it's funny because when you go to a school where your brother had such a good career, you get told, "Oh, you're just so much different than him," right? I heard that probably a million times. And yes, we're different, but I think to our core, we're very similar in how we worked and how we prepared. And having him as a person to look up to all those years, it was an easy roadmap to follow, right? Because he did it before me So I have to thank him for that. My sister, who doesn't get enough love as always, and I think I've told many interviewed people over the years that she was always the best athlete. And so if I don't say it here, I'll never hear the end of it. So shout out to my sister. She was a stud as well at soccer. Yep. I also want to thank my in-laws for coming here. Crazy story. My father-in-law had a double lung transplant 2 years ago. So for him to even be sitting here is just a miracle, and I'm just so thankful for that. Also like to thank Gene. I didn't have many opportunities coming out of college to play. And for some reason, Gene saw something in me, which I think speaks to how he was as a coach. He'll always be a legendary coach, in my opinion, forever. And for him to give me an opportunity to play Division I baseball, which I don't think I would have played junior college or Division II, or I don't know. I didn't really care for it that much, I guess, until I got here and I saw the history and the things that he built from pretty much nothing. And I was like, you know what, like, I'll play for that guy. That guy seems pretty successful, so I'd like to, honor him in some way. And so I'd like to thank Gene and JT and Brent and those guys. And they were great coaches, and like I said, they gave me an opportunity when nobody else did, and that's all I needed once I got here. So thank you, Gene. A few other people, Tammy's awesome. I don't think I've ever met a bigger Shocker fan in my life than Tammy. And she was always so kind to me, I remember, especially when we won. It was so fun because she would always be the happiest. She would get on the bus because she was usually last with whoever's doing the radio broadcast. And I remember her just having so much joy when we won. I was like, you know what? I want to win for Tammy. I was like, this is awesome. So shout out to Tammy, very special person. Also, Dan Cahill. So Dan Cahill was the athletic trainer when I was here. And I have to give him a thank you because on my 21st birthday, I actually got hit in the face with a ball. Don't feel bad. I mean, it was probably a blessing in disguise. I couldn't go out on my 21st. But he actually sat with me at the orthodontist for like 8 hours while I was getting dental work. And so don't forget about that. And he's one of those people that really just makes you belly laugh about certain things. So very thankful for him. That's been on the thank yous. You can't do it alone. So those were about 5 of the words that I remember at my time in Wichita. I don't know why they stuck with me, but they mean something to me because, as you can probably tell from my stories, I'm sometimes a little bit too black and white. And I know that, and I think because of the people that are in my life, that showed me that there is a little bit of gray, and you can't do it alone. And a couple days ago, I was at a new job opportunity. And one of the owners said, you can't do it alone. And I was like, oh. Kind of had deja vu, right? So that was about 10 years after that. And I think back to all the people that were in my life 10 years ago, and I never really did it alone. I'm never really going to do it alone anymore. So, thank you to everybody. I'm honored to be here. Hold on. Sorry. I don't want to do the clapping thing again. I just want to get over with. Thank you for everybody. Like, I'm tremendously honored. Like, Wichita State is always going to be home to me. I loved my time here. I loved everybody that helped me along the way. And I loved honestly kicking ass. So, thank you. I appreciate it.